me this morning to help with the presentation. My name is Katrina Rothenberger. I'm the Public Health Division Director for Marion County Health and Human Services.
And good morning, everyone. My name is Elisa Zastopol. I'm the Deputy Incident Commander for Marion County's COVID response.
Mic on.
Yeah, the mic's on, or pull them as close as you could, please. We're a little weak.
I think I'm going to start, and I will start with just our statistics. What?
Closer. To the mic.
I don't know if the mic's...
Oh, is it not on? It's got a green light.
Okay, yeah, just pull it close to you. Thank you.
Is that better?
There you
Okay.
Better. There you go.
Apologize, guys. So Elisa Zastopol, Marion County Health and Human Services. I'm just going to give an update about our statistics for the COVID response right now. As of 9/16/2020 at 8 o'clock this morning, we had 4,291 cases. This number includes confirmed and presumptive cases. 4,096 people have tested positive, and 44,019 have tested negative. The weekly percent positivity rate for the prior week through 9/6 was 11.1%, and that's an increase from last week. Our case counts continue to trend down, with the majority coming from our northeastern part of the county. We will continue to, on our team, complete our contact tracing and case investigations. We'll continue to provide testing resources and PPE to where they are needed, including outbreaks, our vulnerable populations, and fire personnel is included now. Once the air quality improves, we plan to resume all of our testing events. And our next big plan is to start working on administering vaccine and figuring out how we're going to do that. I'm now going to hand it over to Katrina, who is going to talk more about the response with COVID and fire.
Yeah, so I just wanted to touch a little bit on the role of public health in two major catastrophic events happening simultaneously. One of the major responsibilities of the local public health authority is to ensure for the safety and health of our first responders. And what that looks like is, as we have a bunch of firefighters coming into Oregon, we don't want them to get COVID and spread that and create an outbreak. So we've been working with our liaison to ensure that we have a smooth process for testing, isolation, and quarantine of these folks and catching that early. So we actually have had to utilize this process already. It happened pretty seamlessly, and Yamhill County has been gracious enough to help us out with isolation and quarantine of our presumptive COVID cases or COVID positives. So we're really thankful for their partnership at this time. The other major role is staffing the Emergency Support Function 8, which is health and medical. And that includes monitoring hospital status, long-term care facilities, foster homes, group homes, supporting PPE distribution, as Elisa mentioned, to these vulnerable populations, and also providing an environmental health inspection of the congregate shelter at the fairgrounds. So we've had our health inspectors out there twice so far, once just a few days ago, and then again last night to look at all of the living quarters, food distribution, any restaurants that have been on site. Yesterday, I believe Dutch Brothers was there handing out coffee, which was great. So it's been quite a stretch on the public health system, as it has been on the entire county, and we have a lot of staff and family and their family and friends who've been displaced by the fires, who continue to show up to work every day and help on this response and the COVID response too. So I just wanted to acknowledge their contributions and say thank you. And we're going to continue to monitor COVID and do our best to control the pandemic, as life looks a lot different for a lot of us these days. So thank you.
Are there any questions for Katrina?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, thank you. Katrina, and yesterday, and I know we had our weekly call with our underserved people of color meeting, and one of the things, they had several of these outdoor testing set up, and I think you said that we were going to start those as soon as air quality started up, and that's one of the challenges that we have, because in those communities, Woodburn, Jervis, Central Salem, we're having the biggest outbreaks, and that's where we were doing those tests. So What's the air quality level before we can safely resume those tests? Do we know? And what the prediction is?
I think we should begin to look for alternative ways to administer those tests, try to find an indoor space. The Oregon State Public Health Lab has been closed for the past 3 days because of the indoor air quality was so poor. So testing statewide has been challenged because of that. I think the air quality right now is extremely hazardous. And we should probably look for ways that we can support administering testing in a safe manner while the air quality is like this, because we do know that COVID symptoms and symptoms of smoke can look similar, which is also could contribute to further spread of disease. But the symptoms are cough, difficulty breathing, runny nose, headache, and fatigue are both symptoms of COVID and wildfire smoke. The symptoms not related to wildfire smoke are the fever, chills, muscle and body aches, vomiting, diarrhea, and loss of taste and smell. So I think that we need to prioritize our communities that have been impacted by both smoke and COVID.
Is there any discussion of when we have these tests set up for these people coming in to actually to do flu vaccines at the same time? Have we talked about that? Is there capacity to do that?
Yes, we've been talking with our agencies that we have contracts with, and we've issued them contract amendments to support administration of flu vaccine as well. So as soon as we get that in and contract signed, we'll be happy to do both.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Commissioner?
No, one little comment to Katrina, just note that there's things that I don't even think of, and I'm glad you're thinking of. Every day there's some new twist and needs to be covered. Thank you.
Thank you, Katrina. Thank you, Lisa. Okay, we'll move right on to our consent agenda.
Chair Willis. Make a motion to approve our consent agenda this morning in it, under Finance, approve an order delegating authority to the Marion County Chief Administrative Officer and Chief Financial Officer for Beachy Creek emergency-related contracts and amendments through the expiration of the state of emergency declared on September 8th, 2020. Just can't help but comment. That includes a whole bunch of things, and I'm happy to give that authority. Public Works received notice of the hearings officer's decision approving administrative review, case 20019 Harrison W. Elgin III, and then approve an order appointing Kyle Elwood to the position of citizen at large and Ryan Zink to the position of community organization for the Solid Waste Management Advisory Council, with terms ending September 15th, 2024.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I just want to point out that this is the same level that we gave our Chief Administrative Officer for the COVID emergency, and things like Halls Ridge Tower that got totally burnt up in communications. I know, Jan, you've already given authority to get temporary equipment to do those types of things for our emergency personnel. So that's what that consent agenda item is. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes. Okay. Next up, we are going to consider approval of a proclamation designating the week of September 17th through 23rd, 2020 as Constitution Week in Marion County. So, Day, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Day Westine. I am currently the Vice Regent for Untitled Chapter, Daughters of the American Revolution. We appreciate the opportunity to come before you to get a proclamation, and like you gave us last year too, on the Constitution.
Thank you.
That's it, huh?
That's it.
Very good.
It's been a year already. What a year. Oh, my gosh.
Well, thank you for coming back and for coming every year. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate all the work you do to educate our community about our Constitution. I was thinking last night, we've just lived through a horrible tragedy here, but I've just been so grateful for the people in our community who have not waited, not asked permission, but just pulled together to help each other out. And I was just thinking about what an amazing country we have, and how that ethic and that love for one's place started in the very beginning of this country and is embodied in the Constitution. So thank you for keeping that spirit alive. I sure appreciate it.
So in the old days, the good commissioners, Patty and Janet, would actually give lectures and little.
You say good? The good?
I did. I did on purpose.
I know.
And I always.
You're on your way out.
I know. Anyway, they'd go through it pretty seriously. I always felt left out, because all I could say is in it, and it's the same thing. I agree today. I respect the Constitution, and I will defend it. And it's threatened more than ever right now. So it's significant that we look at it and cherish it. That's all.
No, I kind of wanted to, when we opened with the flag salute, I always wanted to have a moment of silence and prayer for the people of Oregon and our country right now. And it's with this type of proclamation today that we reinforce who we are and why we will rebuild and why we will help each other. And there's so many examples right now of, we'll talk about those probably in the press avail, of people who are suffering great loss, but are sitting over at the fairgrounds serving other people right now. And it's an amazing, amazing place that we live in here. And this Constitution is what has given people hope that they can live with liberty and justice for all. And I think there's a lot of that going on right now. So we want to make a motion,
Yep.
Mr. Chair? Mr. Chair, I'll move that we approve the proclamation designating the week of September 17th through the 23rd, 2020 as Constitution Week in Marion County.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? I just have one more thought I wanted to add. Is, we talked about this last week, but I've got to go to a couple of the swearing-in ceremonies for our deputies, and they swear to uphold the Constitution. And I just think, a lot of them, they kept that oath on Tuesday when they drove into those flames. So, with that, we have a motion and a second. Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes. Commissioner, you want to start?
I'd be happy to. In the matter of observing September 17th to 23rd, 2020 as Constitution Week in Marion County, proclamation. This matter came before the Marion County Board of Commissioners at its regularly scheduled public meeting on Wednesday, September 16th, 2020. Whereas the Constitution of the United States of America, the guardian of our liberties, embodies the principles of limited government in a republic dedicated to rule by law, and
whereas we celebrate our heritage as a country, bound together by fidelity to a set of ideas and a system of governance first laid out in America's Constitution. The product of fierce debate and enduring compromise, our nation's Constitution has guided our progress from 13 to 50 United States that's stretched from the sea to the shining sea. Whereas September 17, 2020 marks the 233rd anniversary of the framing of the Constitution of the United States of America by the Constitutional Convention, and
whereas this week, we reflect on the basic rights and responsibilities of citizenship, the founding documents from which they were drawn, and the extraordinary legacy of the progress they have enabled. Let us forever uphold the ideals the framers enshrined in our Constitution, and let us never cease in our pursuit of the more perfect union they imagined so many years ago. And now, therefore, by virtue of the authority vested in us as the Commissioners for Marion County, we do hereby proclaim the week of September 17th through the 23rd as Constitution Week. So we have the proclamation here if you want to come, and I will hand it to you. Thank you so much. Appreciate your service. Okay.
you want a picture? Sure. You want a better picture than that?
Oh.
Yeah, you come back up here and take a picture. We're not going to let you get away. We'll kind of squeeze in with our mask on.
with our masks on.
Well, I will.
Well, I don't want to offend anybody.
Can you get us all? You're welcome.
Okay. Let's see.
Thank you for the flag.
Okay, next we're going to consider approval of the public improvement agreement with K&E Excavating in the amount of $352,611 for the completion of the Marion County Jail parking lot improvements through June 30th, 2021. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is Larry Tilford, Facilities Program Manager for the county, and I'm here to discuss what is practically Phase 3 of the asphalt repairs we've been making over the last few years to the Almsville campus. We started this process in 2014 with reconstruction of the bus parking area in partnership with the county, between the county and transit, and making that happen, and it's really improved that situation greatly. And then in 2017, we started working on additional paving repairs to the area that's parking right in front of the jail. And that was about 28,000 square feet of pavement that was repaired. And this proposal is for about 71,000 additional square feet of paving. So it's to the north and to the south of the transition center, and behind the bus hub are the areas that we're addressing right now. And in addition, we're going to be adding a car wash station so that the adults in custody can do car washes and improvements like they have been doing behind the transition center, but in a more code-compliant manner. So all of that's part of the project, and we received bids from several different companies: Elk Mountain Construction, North Santiam Paving, D&I Excavating, and K&E Excavating. And K&E was the low bidder, which is good for us because K&E is the company that did the last round of repairs and did an excellent job. So we're pleased that they won that. So we're here to ask for your approval in moving forward with this last phase of the project.
Questions?
Any questions? No? Okay.
Chair Willis, I'd like to make a motion that we do approve the public improvement agreement with K&E Excavating in the amount of $352,611 for completion of Marion County Jail parking lot improvements through June 30th, 2021.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion, a second. Is there any further discussion?
No.
Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes. Thank you, Larry.
Thank you very much.
Okay, next up, we have Russ and Tom. We're going to consider approval of the incoming funds Master Challenge Cost Share Agreement that formalizes cooperative actions with the United States Department of Agriculture, Forest Service, Willamette National Forest in relation to the Little North Fork Recreation Center through December 31st, 2024. Morning, Russ.
Good morning. Russ Stilly with Marion County Parks, and I'm here with Tom Kissinger from Marion County Finance. And we also have Josh Weathers here from the U.S. Forest Service. This agreement that we're bringing to you today is the end result of a 5-year effort to formalize cooperative management of the North Fork corridor with the U.S. Forest Service. So back in 2015, representatives from Marion County Parks, Marion County Public Works, the board's office, the Marion County Sheriff's, the BLM, and Forest Service